Big retailers like Rite Aid and CVS have just declared war on Apple Pay. They've just shut down access to Apple's new digital wallet, and they want you to use their system instead. But is the consumer the ultimate loser? For more on this, tech expert Luis Rincon, the CEO of Wearables.com. Luis, welcome back to the show. So this is the complete list of the retailers we're talking about here. It's CVS, Rite Aid, Walmart, Lowe's, Target, Best Buy, and they're all part of something called the Retailers Merchant Customer Exchange Consortium, something complicated like this. What's really going on here? Why don't they want to use this Apple system?
First of all, great to be back, Jerry. So what is this all about? This is about two things: transaction fees and data. So let's start with the first one. The whole reason they created this group was to get around the credit card transaction fees. So that's 2 to 3% of every order. Remember, these guys deal very low margin, high quantity orders. So any sort of percentage points they can get back is huge for them. So what they created this.
Let's break this down. Let's slow it down, Luis.
Sure.
Explain what that charge is, who gets it, who pays it.
Sure. So anytime that you make a payment, let's say $100, you bought a $100 item at CVS, or your total order was $100. When you pull out your credit card, they end up paying 2 to 3% to whatever your credit card is,
right.
Visa, MasterCard, American Express. So you don't pay it; they actually pay it out of their share of the profits, right? So it hits them immediately.
And so
they
this is more about them than me, right? This is more about them trying to control their own costs. And yet you say there's an additional reason they're doing this too. What is it?
That's the data. So this data is huge. Retailers, consumers are finally getting open to sharing their data with retailers. At Wearables.com, we recently just posted a study showing 1 in 3 consumers actually is willing to share what they purchased online. 1 in 5 is actually wanting the retailers to reach out to them when they enter the store with rewards or some sort of deal. And the most valuable data is the data at the cash register. With credit card transaction systems as well as Apple Pay, Apple gets to keep that data. With the currency, which is the app the retailers are pushing right now, they all get to keep that data across all these transactions. So it's huge for them to have access to this.
And now there's 2 very big economic reasons why these retailers want to hang on to this. But here's the payoff for me. I'm a consumer, right, like everybody else watching the show. So which is safer in terms of where my data is going, where my information is going, how I might lose control of my information to the bad guys?
Great question. So let's remember and let's remind all consumers they have the power here. This battle will be decided by the consumers. Which one's safer? Apple wins pretty much a landslide in my opinion, and that's really for 2 reasons. One, the technology that Apple based its Apple Pay system on is NFC technology, near field communication, which is perhaps the most secure payment transaction technology out there. Currency, the retailer's app, is actually QR code based. The second, which is also very telling of the way that they set up their app, is, remember, these retailers want to get away from the credit card, so you have to tie in your bank account information directly. With Apple Pay, you're putting in your credit card information. We all know, or we should all know, hopefully, as consumers, that credit card protective measures are superior to bank account protective measures. So this way, you're actually dealing one-to-one with Apple. You're dealing, with your credit card who's dealing with Apple. The other way, your bank information is actually stored somewhere in the cloud by this app.
So Apple's safer, these other retailers, their systems, not so much. Luis, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much, Jerry.